My name is Jason Sinwell. I've been at Mount Olive for just over 7 years now.
I'm Jessie Hafman. Most people probably know me as Lauren Else's daughter.
My name is Jennifer DeClerc. I've been a member of this congregation for 10 years, since 2005.
Well, I grew up in Mount Olive, so I have that experience growing up as a child and being confirmed here.
We came to the church when I was in 4th grade, and along the way I've kind of left and come back and left and come back.
My initial goal in finding a congregation was to find a congregation that was smaller, where I could feel more a part of the congregation.
We've got 3 kids, 2 in Sunday school, and my wife and I have been involved in music. We're in choir. We've been involved with brass a little bit here and there.
I was confirmed here.
We've felt very welcome here.
What I really like is the openness and the welcoming community that we have here, and I feel comfortable with that. I feel like there's a really good church family here.
When I moved to Rochester, I visited several congregations, and not only is this one just 3 blocks from where I live, but it also had the feel. When I walked in, I saw that olive tree, and everything just felt right for me when I came.
Well, when we first came here, we saw that people at this church don't just show up with fancy clothes on Sunday. They're coming back on the Wednesdays. They're coming back for the educational opportunities. And then we didn't see so much the kids stuff because we didn't have any kids. But I was actually on a call committee about 2 or 3 years ago, and I heard so much about the education. It's so strong. And now I've become part of the education, and I see, yes, it's strong, but it takes a lot of work. And I've seen how willing people are to work with education for the kids. Even people that don't have kids, they see that as vital.
One piece of Sunday school and confirmation is the learning. But what I really like is going just beyond that. I like to find ways to help my kids connect with friends. So that way when they learn, they're doing it with other people that they enjoy, that are close to their hearts. And it kind of helps bring the faith out a little more, because they can see, yeah, I'm sitting here in the classroom and I'm learning, but I'm also here with my friend, and it's kind of like a play date. And I like having that different aspect where it's like they feel a bond with that, and it's a new way to experience God's love, is to also do it with your friends.
Fellowship, it's a hard definition for me, but for me, fellowship is being together, joining together, just like we talk about as the communion of believers. It's all friends you know, friends you don't know. It's just being a part of something. It's like being a part of a family. It's a fellowship, only it's fellowship with people that aren't your immediate family. Well, the 4 pillars that I understand at Mount Olive are worship, service, education, and fellowship. And they all tie in nicely together. You have to have an education component to help our children grow up in the faith, us continue to grow in our faith. Service in the community. We can't just stay within our own walls, so we serve each other here, but we need to take our service outside. Fellowship we kind of talked about earlier. And worship, we're community believers. We need to be together. You can certainly worship online, go elsewhere, but unless you are with a group of people, it just helps you grow in your faith and learn what else there is out there.
Well, I have a lot of involvement with service, but I know that the service can't happen without good leadership. Good music leaders, good ministers, or good Sunday school leaders. Actually, as serving as an assistant minister, I realized that when people come up to communion, it's just a different aspect from that side of, serving the communion or serving the wine. You see how reverent people are, and even with doing music, you see how people watch. And if you're doing music, you have to try not to watch them back because it's distracting. Because they're really they're not just into what you're doing, but just the music. people are called on to help with service. I mean, there's the ushers, and kids help with the service. The high schoolers, middle schoolers sometimes do the readings. We find that it takes a lot of work, but they do it. With that, we see that it's a never-ending process. You have to, call on people. You have to challenge them. You have to keep them going, and keep yourself going too. And they're going to feed off you. You feed off them.
I can remember the moment that I realized I wanted to do more. And I was actually not in the church at the time. I was in a conference. And the conference presenter made the comment about being a good citizen of whatever community that you're in, whether you're in your town or your work or your church or your family or whatever. About 3 years ago, made a decision that I needed to and could do more than I was doing than just sitting in the front pew. And then I got the call about actually doing something. I started out just being involved as an usher and a lecturer and an assisting minister. And then in 2014, I also joined the Altar Guild. And that's been an experience. And I can tell you that all of those experiences and participating in a way that gives things back to the service and to the congregation has really fulfilled my need to feel like I'm doing more and really engaged in participating in the congregation.
To keep the fellowship vibrant, we all need to participate. We all need to continue doing what we're doing, helping the community, helping inside the community, the walls of the church.
Obviously, the building has to be maintained, has to be safe, has to be cleaned.
I would ask that we be tender-hearted.
There's so many different opportunities, backpack program. Pick an opportunity, join in. It's also fellowship, but it's also a way to give back to the church.
Inside of every one of us is that place, that spark that drives what we do. And sometimes you call it your conscience, sometimes you call it your spirit, sometimes you call it that little voice. I think that if we would all listen to that, we would find that we all have something to give. And sometimes you'll see some people giving a lot and some people giving a little. Doesn't matter. It's that focus on that common goal and really believing what we say and then making it happen that way. And it's going to take time, and it's going to take commitment, and it's going to take inconvenience sometimes, and it's going to take discomfort sometimes. And sometimes it's going to feel like you're going nowhere. But if you believe in what we say we believe in, we're going to find that. We're going to find that time and that resource and all of those sorts of things to keep this thing going. It's amazing the power in a group of committed people who really believe in what they're doing. And I feel that here. I feel that we can do incredible things because we've done incredible things. And I think that's a pretty good predictive indicator of what it can be.
forgive you, Mother.